How's it going, everyone? I want to give you guys a heads up on an awesome PSN game deal that is coming to an end here very shortly. Now, it's from everybody's favorite publisher, Ubisoft. I know you guys love Ubisoft, no, but for real, they are doing something that probably should have been standard in their games, and The Crew 2 is heavily discounted, and guess what? They are going to be implementing an offline component, so the nonsense that happened with The Crew 1 will not be happening with this game. So we'll talk about that, couple of other deals to note as well, and we'll get to them in a little bit. But right off the top, The Crew 2 is 98% off for, wait for it, 99 cents. Yes, The Crew 2 is down to 99 cents, and I know for a lot of you guys, you're going to be like, oh, it's a Ubisoft game, I don't even want to spend 99 cents on it, but any game for 99 cents, especially it being a AAA title, if you want to deem Crew 2 that, is pretty good. On top of that, Ubisoft has come out and stated that they are going to be implementing an offline component to the Crew 2 and the Crew Motorfest. Obviously, earlier this year, there was quite the discussion over the Crew 1 as that game got delisted, and if you have a physical copy of the game, it pretty much became a coaster for you because you cannot actually do anything with it anymore. With the servers being down, the game is not playable, and that includes for people that spent a lot of money on things like in-game microtransactions and stuff like that. Just one of the most wildest, eye-opening moments, I think, for a lot of people in terms of a game that should have an offline component, not having an offline component, and on top of that, what was wild was the fact that that was a game that was a $60 title. It had digital deluxe editions, it had premium editions, it had microtransactions, and people spent money on that game. And I don't even think it was more of an issue of the Crew in a vacuum. Like, obviously, there were people that got effed over as far as Crew just being delisted and then shutting down, but on top of that, just coming to the realization that Ubisoft had that much power, and game developers and publishers in general having that much power in terms of game preservation. And it's not like the Crew 1 is that old. It's a decade old. Like, that's not that old of a game. If we're talking about 2014, that's the same time games like Infamous Second Son came out, and, the Dragon Age Inquisition, like 10 years ago, that's not that long of a time. Maybe a lot of things have happened in the last 10 years, but in terms of a game shutting down and no longer being accessible, especially one that should have an offline component, it shouldn't be like, oh, 10 years ago, I got my fix out of this game, it's gone forever. But thankfully, with the Crew 2 and the Crew Motorfest, Ubisoft is going to be implementing an offline component, so that issue will not be persisting with those two titles. However, obviously, you can call back to the idea of, they should probably implement some sort of offline component to the Crew 1 as well. I think the opportunity for that is gone, and I don't think that is something they're going to be looking at, and if they were, I feel like they would have said something by now, and given that they haven't, I just think it's GG no re for the Crew 1, but for the Crew 2, 99 cents, feel like this is a pretty good deal. Again, I get it, it's Ubisoft, and a lot of you guys are going to be like, oh, 99 cents, it's not even worth it, and not even worth a penny, whatever, but you can have some fun with it, and as an arcade racer, I think it is a game that a lot of you guys are going to end up enjoying. So that is my 2 cents on that for 99 cents. All right, moving on from that, do want to give you guys a shout that Helldivers 2 is seeing its first discount over on the PlayStation Store, and this game has been in the news cycle as a recent update has fixed a lot of the issues of the game, and on top of that, has had a bit of a resurgence with now on Steam there being 40,000 concurrent players as I'm recording this video. I believe it went as high as 60,000 concurrent players, which is a far cry from the 400k the game was peaking at, but given we're, 7 months removed from the initial release of the game, hitting these kinds of numbers is still very, very good, and I would say for Helldivers 2, a little bit of a resurgence definitely has been had, and I still think it's an incredibly enjoyable co-op title. For me, I played it when it came out, and then I kind of moved on with my life as far as, playing Helldivers 2, but had a lot of fun with it, and as far as the pure fun factor in a chaotic co-op title, Helldivers 2 gave me a lot of that, much like Warhammer Space Marine 2 gave me with that game's campaign. A lot of people that played Space Marine 2 as well told me that that game, and those are people that also played Helldivers 2, had the same kind of fun factor and enjoyability that Helldivers had in terms of the chaos, so take that for what you will. But the recent update that just dropped for Helldivers 2 overview includes major overhaul of anti-tank, armor penetration, health and armor values, weapon and stratagem balancing, enemy reworks, Helldiver health and damage mechanics tweaks, gas gameplay mechanic rework, new galactic war feature, emote wheel feature, crash and bug fixes as well. There's a significant rundown as far as all of the updates, but if you're looking for a solid co-op title that's still being updated, Helldivers 2 I think is worthwhile to check out. I would highly recommend you to have some friends to play the game with, but you know, enjoyable nonetheless. Moving on from that, I do want to highlight a couple of deals that are available as a part of the PlayStation Plus saving sale that's running right now. Right off the top, Kingdom Come Deliverance Royal Edition for $3.99 is Highway Robbery. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 obviously coming out in February of next year, and that game so far looks pretty good, but I would highly recommend you to play KCD before you jump into Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Kingdom Come Deliverance certainly is not going to be a game for everyone. I think the game really leans on the historical aspects, and if you like the historical setting, I think you're going to end up really enjoying the game and you're going to have a lot of fun with it. There are some technical issues, especially on consoles, that you have to be mindful of, and the gameplay I think is fairly good, and I thought narratively it was fairly good, but might not be for everyone. But for $4 to get a solid open world historical RPG and all of the DLC content, given hours of gameplay per dollar spent, KCD Royal Edition's a damn good deal, so definitely would give that a look. Next up, want to give a shout out to Castle Crashers Remastered, which is 80% off for $2.99 for Plus subscribers. Castle Crashers is one of those games that has just stood the test of time and is one of those games I feel like a lot of people can go back to and enjoy playing. It is one of those games that I personally recommend you have a group of people to play with. I know some people are very much against that notion, where they think Castle Crashers can be enjoyable as a solo game. I personally think the best way to experience Castle Crashers is if you do have a group of 4, but if you want a solid beat 'em up, Castle Crashers is a good option. A lot of charm to it as well, and for $2.99, you know, get a couple of friends to pick it up as well, and I feel like you guys can all jump in and have a pretty good time together. And yeah, one of those games that I feel like is incredibly replayable if you're just bored and want a fun co-op game to get into. Castle Crashers, I feel like, is a pretty damn good option. $2.99 as well for a great price, and this is a game that was holding up in price for a very, very long time. And given that the deal is available to Plus subscribers, plus needed to play online, you know, I feel like it all comes together, and if you have some friends that are Plus subscribers, for them this deal, pick it up together and you can have a good time with that. But that is going to do it for me. Again, as far as Ubisoft is concerned, I know not everybody's favorite publisher, but The Crew 2 for just 99 cents I do think is a great deal. You know, they're selling it for 99 cents with the hopes that maybe you'll spend some money on the microtransactions as well. Don't get me wrong, when it comes to Ubisoft, I always think that they're doing specific things based on, you know, their methodology in terms of getting your foot in the door with The Crew 2 and then hopefully selling you some microtransactions. At least this time around, The Crew 2 will be perpetually in your library and none of the nonsense with The Crew 1, fingers crossed, will be happening. Helldivers 2, 20% off for $31.99. Remember, that game has gotten a significant update and a resurgence of interest, so check that out as well. Kingdom Come Deliverance Royal Edition, $3.99 with your Plus subscription. Great deal there. And Castle Crashers Remastered, if you want a fun co-op beat 'em up, that's a great option at $2.99. That's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.